She's gonna bang her head like 1981. 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 She's throwing punches to the beat, to the sound of cable TV, and she'll never see the world the same. She's a Cold War in my head, and I am East Berlin on the danger side of parts unknown. Coffee and cyanide for lovers in disgrace. If this is not a test, you got one foot in the grave. She's gonna bang her head like 1981. 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 Crime, foreman of the time, champagne and party lives, God bless the end of time. Pain, commies and cocaine, slam dancing, acid rain, we'll live the dream for 15 minutes of fame. She's gonna bang her head like 1981. 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 Wow! Hey everybody, thank you for watching my pre-release cover of 1981 by Green Day, and especially thank you if you're still watching this section of the video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I made this and why I made it. I mean, why I made it's kind of obvious. I've been watching that freaking video of them playing the song in Paris for weeks now, and I'm like, I need to hear a studio recording. I thought they were going to release it as a single, and they didn't. So I was like, there's a week before this album comes out. I'm just going to make it and try to make it as close to how I think it's going to actually be on the record. And, that was the result. So yeah, I basically just watched that video of them playing 1981 in Paris over and over again and tried to pick out what they were all doing on stage, what they were all playing. The drums were easy because they're obviously loud and clear, and even in the cell phone recording, I think it's a cell phone recording, you can really hear what's going on. Then I just programmed them using Superior Drummer. I already had a pop punk preset that I've used before that's basically modeled after Trey's kit, so I popped it in and it sounded pretty much like how Trey's drums usually sound. The guitars were a little trickier because you have Jason and Billy both on stage, whereas on the recordings, it's usually just Billy, I'm pretty sure. I did two guitar tracks, one basically just following exactly what I saw Jason playing in that video. And then Billy's is a little difficult because when they're playing live, he sings to the crowd a lot and he stops playing. So I kind of had to infer what he would be playing the whole time in that song. It might not end up being completely accurate, but I kind of just went with my gut because I know Green Day pretty well. The bass was probably the hardest part because you can't hear it that well in that video. And it's a far away video, so the guys are really small on stage. So I had to look at what Mike was playing and kind of just try to figure out, like, listen for what he's playing, but also look at his fingers and do the best I could. So I'm really curious when the song drops to hear how accurate some of the bass fills I wrote for this end up being. I have a feeling a lot of them are going to be similar. I don't really have high hopes that I got them exactly right just based on what I could see and hear in that video, but I'm very excited to find out. When it came to the vocals, I looked up the lyrics that are apparently on genius.com already, which I did not expect. That's what's there right now, and it sounds like that's what he's singing in the video, so that's what I went with. As for vocal harmonies, there are no vocal harmonies in the live performance. There's the So Long Farewell part that Jason sings, but actual harmonies, there were none of. So this was actually an interesting thing when Dilemma came out. There's not a single vocal harmony in this song, which, for me, I feel like Green Day is pretty known for that. So when Dilemma came out and there were no harmonies, I was a little shocked. I was like, wow, okay, no harmonies here. So again, I don't know what harmonies are going to be in 1981 on the record, and I kind of just threw some in there that I thought sounded good. So actually, as I was wrapping up, like, I finished recording everything. The mix was basically done. I got an email this morning right before I went to film everything. And it was like, sign up for our newsletter and you'll get a sneak peek of a new song. And I was like, it's going to be 1981, I swear. And I didn't want to hear the song until the album came out on Friday. I wanted to finish this project completely first. And of course, it was a sneak peek of 1981. So if you've heard the snippet that I'm referring to, it was like just the last chorus and the outro. So you didn't really get a good idea of things, really, but I didn't let it influence my recording. I didn't change anything. I just went with what I had already done. But what I did notice was that there are no vocal harmonies in the chorus, but I just left mine in there because I think they sound pretty cool. And like I said, that's how I kind of guessed it might sound, and I was wrong, but I think it sounds good still. The last thing is the So Long Farewell part that Jason's singing in that live video. Just like the harmonies, I double tracked them, pan one left, pan one right, and that part is in the snippet they released, and they did record it and mix it the exact same way that I did. So I felt pretty proud that I kind of nailed that. And the reason I say I kind of nailed it is because I was thinking in the back of my mind, they either did something like what I did, two voices panned, or they did like big Green Day punk rock, like chant gang vocals with a lot of them singing So Long Farewell. But they didn't, so that was cool. And that's kind of it. I mean, to summarize, it was just a whole bunch of watching that one video over and over again, seeing what I could see, listening for any part I could make out, and doing my best to make the recording sound like Green Day. You know, if Rob Cavallo was in the room, it probably would have gotten a little closer, but he wasn't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end of this video. This was a really cool project to do. I kind of just did it spur of the moment, and it ended up being really fun, and I hope you guys liked it.